Okay guys, I want to talk to you about comparing and ordering fractions, decimals, and percents when they're all mixed together. Okay, and it addresses the standard MA.6.A.5.2, compare and order fractions, decimals, and percents, including finding their approximate locations on a number line. So the examples that we did in class, we didn't necessarily put them on a number line, but I went ahead and did that as well just to kind of tie everything together. So I got 3 examples, and we are to order numbers from least to greatest and graph them on a number line. So the first example, I have 0.4 or 4/10, I have 5/8, and I have 38%. And I'm asked to find out which one's the lowest, which one's the highest. So I just kind of, you can do this a ton of ways, and for me it works best just to put them all as decimals. Okay, so that's my thought process, but you can turn them all into fractions if you want to. You can turn them all into percents if you want to. The sky's the limit, and it's just up to you. So it's, like I said, it's easier for me to have them all as decimals. So 0.4 stays the same. There's not much I need to do here. 5/8, however, I need to do the division. Remember, that's what a fraction is division. So you need to divide 5 by 8. That means 5 goes inside and 8's on the outside. So I do my division and I come up with 0.625. Okay, and then 38%, super easy. That's why I like doing decimals. All I have to do is multiply or divide by 100, and that moves my decimal 2 places to the left, and that gives me 0.38. So, in order from least to biggest, I have 38 is smaller than, what would it be, 40, and then, which is smaller than 62, or 62 and a half. So, 0.38 is smaller than 0.4, which is smaller than 0.625. And then to put it on the number line, so I have a number line from 0 to 1, and I have it incremented in halves. So I have 1/4, I mean not halves, but quarters. So I have 1/4, 1/2, and 3/4. And 38% would fall about right there, below a half, but above a quarter. And so would 0.4, but it's a little bigger than 38%. And then I have 5/8 falling between a half and 3/4. Okay, so that's the first example. Second example, I am looking to order 1/2, 0.55, and 5/7. So a half is easy. If I think of money, I'm thinking a $1 in my pocket. I got 50 cents, so 0.5. And then I have 0.55, leave it there. I can already tell that that's bigger than this. If I have 55 cents in my pocket, I got more than 50 cents. So I know this one's bigger than this one, I just don't know about 5/7. So I have to do the division. 5 divided by 7. So 5 goes inside, 7 goes on the outside. I got a little crazy with it. I went ahead and divided out way too many times. I probably should have only gone out 2 or 3 places. Actually, I could have just done 1, because when my first place, if I go ahead and make it a decimal, put the decimal on top, add a 0, 7 goes into 50 7 times. And that's 49. So I could have stopped right there, because 0.7 is bigger than 0.55. So I know that's going to be my biggest number. So this is actually in order. So on the number line, a half is right on a half. 0.55 is just past it. And then I went ahead and rounded it to 2 decimal places to the hundreds place. And 71 hundredths is past a half, but just below 3/4. Okay, and then the final example, I have 135%, 3/2, and 1.4. So knowing what I know about fractions and decimals and percents, I know 135% means I have more than 1. 3/2, my numerator is bigger than my denominator, so I have a number that's bigger than 1. And then 1.4, to me, is pretty obvious, it's bigger than 1. So my number line goes from 0 actually to 2, because I know my decimals are going to fall, or all these numbers are going to fall between 1 and 2. So I go ahead and convert 135%. I divide by 100, so that decimal moves 2 places to the left, and I'm given 1.35. 3/2, I go ahead and divide. 3 divided by 2, all right, and that'll go in there 1.5 times. And then finally, I just leave 1/4 alone, because that's already a decimal. And I order them. I know 1.3 is smaller than 1.4, and 1.5 is bigger than 1.4. So that's the order: 1.35, 1.4, and 1.5. And they fall between the 1 1/4, and 1 1/2 on the number line.